Ecology. Now that word might take you right back to high school science class, right? But what if I told you it's actually the most important instruction manual you'll ever get your hands on? Today we're going to unpack why this science is absolutely critical for our future.
Okay, let's just start with a quick thought experiment. Imagine for a second that our planet, this incredibly complex, beautiful system we all share, actually came with an instruction manual. You know, a guide that explained how all the pieces fit together, how to keep it running smoothly, and what to do when those warning lights start flashing. Well, here's the kicker. That manual is real. It totally exists, and it's called Ecology. Seriously, you can think of it as the official user guide for planet Earth. It explains the core mechanics of how life works, how it thrives, and how it all stays in balance.
So let's crack open Chapter 1 of this manual, shall we? Let's get into the basic operating principles of our planet. The first rule, and I mean the biggest, most fundamental rule in the whole book, is this: everything is connected. Ecology shows us that every single species, from the tiniest microbe in the soil to the biggest whale in the ocean, is part of this huge, intricate web. They all rely on each other to survive and keep their ecosystems in balance. And when everything's connected like that, something pretty incredible happens. All those connections create what scientists call ecosystem services. These are basically all the life-sustaining benefits we get from a healthy planet, automatically and completely free of charge. And listen, we're not talking about minor perks here. These are the absolute cornerstones of our survival. Things like the air we breathe and the water we drink being purified, the pollination of the crops that feed us, the very soil beneath our feet. These are the life support systems that we depend on every single day without even thinking about it.
But what happens when we ignore the manual? Well, that brings us to the troubleshooting section, a chapter that, unfortunately, has become way too relevant for us.
For a long time, as we push for more industrial and economic growth, we've kind of been pushing all the buttons and pulling all the levers on this planetary machine without ever reading the instructions. And that has led to some serious damage, really just because we didn't fully grasp the consequences of what we were doing. And the difference in the results is, well, it's night and day. When we follow the principles in the manual, we get balance, coexistence, and healthy ecosystems. But when we ignore them, we get degradation, scarcity, and loss. The choices we make have real, tangible, and long-lasting consequences. So you can think of these as the check engine lights flashing on the planet's dashboard. Widespread pollution, the loss of species that hold entire ecosystems together, these aren't random accidents. They're the direct results of running this whole system without following the guide.
Okay, so that sounds pretty grim, I know. But it's not all bad news, not at all. Because the manual doesn't just list the problems, it also has the repair guide. So now let's look at the solutions Ecology gives us.
And this is where Ecology becomes really empowering. It doesn't just tell us what's wrong, it gives us the knowledge to actually fix the damage and come up with smart strategies for the long-term health of our planet.
So what's in this repair kit? Well, we've got some major tools at our disposal. These are the frameworks that Ecology provides to help us build a much smarter, healthier relationship with the world around us.
First up is a huge one you've probably heard of: sustainable development. Now, this isn't about stopping progress. It's about redefining what progress even means. It's about improving our quality of life today in a way that doesn't mess things up for future generations.
So how do we actually do that? One of the most powerful tools we have is called an Environmental Impact Assessment, or EIA. It's a pretty straightforward idea. Before a big new project gets started, an EIA is done to figure out what the potential environmental problems could be. This lets planners tweak the project from the very beginning, so it works with nature, not against it. It's all about being proactive, not just reacting after the damage is done. All right, let's bring this all home. We've talked about how the planet works, what happens when we ignore the rules, and how we can start to fix things. But at the end of the day, why does this manual matter so much to every single one of us? Because this manual, it doesn't just belong on a shelf in a lab somewhere. It's the user guide for our shared home. Understanding these principles isn't just for scientists. It's essential knowledge for everyone. For citizens, for leaders, for business owners, for every single person who calls this planet home. It really all boils down to this one simple, powerful truth. Studying ecology is exactly like having an instruction manual for our home, the Earth. It's the basic knowledge we all need to live here in a way that ensures this amazing planet can keep supporting life for generations to come. So the final thought is this. We have the manual, the science is there, the tools are ready to go. The only real question left is,
What are we going to choose to build with it?